Well, our next unit we're going to talk about today has possibly the coolest model in the book. The unfortunate problem is that this model is unable to be found anywhere because it was a limited edition release. We're talking about this guy. Hopefully that's working. Ugh. Chaplain. I end up converting my own. I may show you if these are good. You know what? You sucked me in. I went and got him. Here he is. Boom. That skull is often of a sprue filled with skulls. It's actually an orc skull. He's converted up. I don't have a base for him yet. I'm going to do a video on how to build cool snow bases at some point. Anyways. Cool. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked talking about models. I love these dudes. Let's go over his coolness. So, the Brotherhood Chaplain, his stats. Movement 5, because he's in Terminator armor. Weapon skill 2+, he likes to punch things. Ballistic skill 3+, he's not as interested in shooting, but he does have the option. His strength and toughness are both 4, he has 5 wounds, and he has 4 attacks. Leadership is 9, and he has a 2+ save. So he's rocking a normal Stormbolter. So that is a strength 4, AP 0, damage 1. And he has a Crossroads Arcanum, which is melee. +2 strength, AP -1, 2 damage. Not a nemesis weapon. Keep that in mind. If you're in the Tide of Convergence, you will not be getting mortal wounds on 6s. His special rule, Knights of Titan and Teleport Strike, like pretty much everyone else. Techmarine doesn't have that if you watch the Techmarine video, I forgot to mention that. Whoops. He's a spiritual leader. While a friendly Grey Knight's core unit is within 6 inches of this model, models that unit can use this model's leadership characteristics instead of their own. Now he's got leadership 9, so most of the units I think have 8. So that could be useful in some situations, but it is situational. Now he's got a Rosserus, which is a symbol of the chaplaincy office. It gives him a 4+ invulnerable save. Now he is a psyker. He is literally the only psychic chaplain in the whole of 40k because he's a Grey Knight and they are just cool as shit. So this model can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in your psychic phase and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in your opponent's psychic phase. He knows Smite and 1 other psychic power from the Dominus discipline. Alright, I'll give you a hint. This dude is a buffing unit. So taking a buffing psychic power is probably the best idea. So Priest, this is what makes him cool. This is his shtick. This is what makes a chaplain a chaplain. This model knows the Litany of Expulsion and 1 other litany from the Litanies of Purity, page 66. In your command phase, if this model is on the battlefield, it can recite 1 litany it knows that has not already been recited by a friendly model that battle round. Alright? Keyword there, if he's on the battlefield, okay, in the command phase. So if you deep strike him in with Teleport Strike, he can't do the litany, okay? He needs to wait till the following turn. Alright, so roll 1d6 on a 3-part plus. The recited litany is inspiring and takes effect until the start of your next command phase. Now, the only thing I find disappointing about this dude is that he has 1 litany and there's no way for him to get a second. Alright? But, I mean, the guy's a psyker. He's in Terminator armor. He's just a beast. He's sick, he's tough, he's hardcore. Like, maybe I'm asking for too much, I don't know. But that's my feelings on the chaplain. Now, what are his litanies? Let's go over them, shall we? Now, keep in mind, first litany is one that he gets all the time, no matter what. The Litany of Expulsion. If this litany is inspiring, then while a friendly Grey Knight's core or Grey Knight's character unit is within 6 inches of this priest, each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. Alright, so that is an aura. It's a 6-inch aura. Now, Dread Knight's a core, okay? So if you're running into combat with a Dread Knight, this dude popping that litany off, he's just going, yeah man, just keep re-rolling your hits. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, pretty cool. It's like Drago's there saying, you can fight again, you can attack, whatever. But it's an aura instead of just picking one unit, which it's pretty good. It's pretty strong. And an army that's very melee focused, that is not too bad at all. So now he gets to pick one of the other 6. The first one, Words of Power. If this litany is inspiring, select one friendly Grey Knight's core or Grey Knight's character unit within 6 inches of this priest. Each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack with a nemesis weapon, an unmodified wound roll of 6 wounds the target 1 additional time. And if the Tide of Convergence is dominant for your army, the target also suffers 1 mortal wound. Now this is one of those rules which confuses people, myself included. Okay, so when you're in the Tide of Convergence and you hit something and wound it in combat, and you wound it on a 6, you get a mortal wound normally, alright? So when you got this on, you roll the 6, you've wounded twice now instead of once. The way I read it, it says also suffers 1 mortal wound. I don't know if that's in addition to the normal mortal wound. So when you roll a 6, does that mean 2 mortals? I think it does, alright? But I could be wrong. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So yes, Words of Power. If it's 2 mortal wounds, it's very powerful. Number 2, Atonement for Guidance. If this litany is inspiring, select one friendly Grey Knight's core or Grey Knight's character unit within 6 inches of this priest. Each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack, you can ignore any or all hit roll and ballistic skill modifiers. Okay, it says you can ignore, alright? So that means if you have the ballistic skill positive modifiers on a plane, let's say, you can ignore that particular part and you can hit better. So any or all, okay? So if you put that on a vehicle like a tank, suddenly you're shooting something that's a flyer, you've got your +1 to hit, it's now ignoring the negative to hit, so now you're actually hitting it on full ballistic skill +1. Cool. Psalm of Purity, it's an aura. If this litany is inspiring while a friendly Grey Knight's core or Grey Knight's character unit is within 6 inches of this priest, each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack on an unmodified wound roll of 6, improve the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. Not too bad. There's a lot of these coming out now where on a 6 you improve your armor penetration, stuff like that. I think Orcs have got it now with the Speedwar. But we're not talking about Orcs, we're talking about Grey Knights. The number 4 is called Refrain from Convergence. If this litany is inspiring, select one unit within 6 inches of the priest. That unit and the models it contains stop being affected by any psychic powers that have been affecting it that had been manifested by an enemy unit. So anyone that's put a debuff on you, you can just go, see you later. Until starting the next command phase, that unit and the models it contains are not affected by any psychic powers manifested by enemy units. So not only that, you've put a buff on them now, so if someone wants to cast Smite or something like that, it just won't work, okay? There's a lot of psychic powers that target the closest enemy unit. If these guys are up closest and your opponent is trying to cast, they just instantly fail. It's a pretty good defensive litany. Recitation of Projection. If this litany is inspiring, select one friendly Grey Knight's core or Grey Knight's character unit within 6 inches of this priest. Till the start of your next command phase, add 6 inches to the range characteristic of bolt and sire weapons. Models in that unit are equipped with. If the Tide of Convergence is dominant for your army, then add 6 inches to the range of bolt weapons, but only add 3 inches to the range of sire weapons that models in the unit are equipped with. Note that with the similar bonus conferred by the Tide of Convergence, this means that a total range increase of sire weapons will be 9 inches. So basically, yes, if you're in Tide of Convergence, your sire weapons, instead of being 24 inches, they will be 33 inches. Cool. The sixth one is Invocation of Focus, which is another aura. If this litany is inspiring while a friendly Grey Knight core or Grey Knight's character unit is within 6 inches of this priest, each time that unit attempts to manifest a blessing psychic power, add 1 to that attempt's psychic test. Cool. So he basically puts that onto another dude, and then that dude gets a bonus to his casting. If we take a quick look at some blessings, we've got Gate of Infinity, which is one. We've got Sanctuary, which is another one. We've got Warp Shaping, which is a blessing, so that's to help you change the tide. We've got Astral Aim. We've got Ethereal Castigation. We've got Armored Resilience. We've got Hammer Hand. So lots of blessings in there. Then in the Brotherhoods, we've got Temporal Accuracy for the Silver Blades. We've got Symphotic Strike for the Rapiers. That's the +1 attack. We've got Aegis Eternal from the Preservers, which is the +1 to your Feel No Pain. And we've got Incapable Pursuit, which is the reroll charges for Blades of Victory. So quite a few. Alright, so that's an aura as well, don't forget. So if you want to make sure you get your charges off for those guys in the second Brotherhood, that's not a bad one to have. So yes, that's the Chaplain. He's pretty cool. He's got some benefits, but how would you run him? I'm interested to know. I'm definitely going to run mine, whether he sucks or not. Either way, have a great day, guys. I'll see you next time.